Welcome to Champions Mojo. Join us for conversations that inspire and empower you as an adult athlete, fitness enthusiast, or master swimmer. Our goal is to make each episode insightful and inspirational and to discover what it takes to build or keep a life of personal excellence. I'm your host, Kelly Pallas, and we're here to champion you. I'm doing an on-deck interview with Cal Beattie. He's 90 years old, and we are just having a snack in the hospitality during the Virginia Short Course State Championships for Masters. And I love your shirt that says, show up, age up, swim masters. Cal, you did this meet last year, and this year you're swimming 3 events. And tell us what you're feeling now that you're 90.
I feel wonderful. I keep on swimming. I started actually swimming every other day after my lady passed away, my wife, and I was swimming then every other day. And then about 4 years ago, somebody at the YMCA asked me if I knew anything about master swimming. I said no, but I've been timing myself on the 500 while I was working out. So I knew what my time was for 500. So I went to the internet and I said, let me see the top 10 swimmers in my age group and what their time is. And I said, lo and behold, I was coming in fourth. And I thought the word master meant that it was a pretty fast group, and turned out that I went to several of these meets over the last 4 years, and in my age group, I usually come in first because nobody else shows.
Yeah. Well, so prior to 4 years ago, when you started into your master's career, were you swimming? Were you an athlete? Did you swim in high school? Did you have any background?
Yeah, I was a co-captain on my high school team in Pontiac, Michigan. I was the best freestyler there, but that was many, many years ago. I didn't improve with the muscle strength that you lose over time. Then you lose the good times. It was interesting. Our pool was a kind of unusual pool. It was a 20-yard pool. And in 40, we had a 40 instead of a 50. And in the 40, I was swimming 19.2 seconds. So how that equates possibly, if I was swimming a 50, then that might equate to about a 23, something along those lines. And that was back in 1953.
Very nice. So did you stay in shape? You look pretty lean and pretty fit now at 90. During the time that you weren't a swimmer, did you stay in shape and do any other sports, or did you have a career or a family, or what did you spend 6 decades doing before you came to master swimming?
Well, I came out of high school and went to a college in Michigan called Olivet College. They had no pool. So the cross-country coach talked to me and said, why don't you go ahead and try this cross country? And he said, well, follow this gentleman here who's got a scholarship to Olivet for cross country, and just follow him around the 5-mile course. And I remember I had these shoes. I didn't have any track shoes, but I had some big old fat Keds, they called them, with some thick soles. And so I followed him along, and I got to 4 miles, and then he sprinted the last mile. I went the whole 5 miles without ever having to run at all in high school or anything. So then, once I got in shape, then I did pass him. It was quite interesting.
Oh, that's great. And it looks like you're registered for an unattached team. Do you still swim alone, or do you have teammates, or what is your training like?
Well, my training is that I am independent and I can go to the pool when I decide, and I don't have to meet any scheduling. So that fits me very, very well. Usually go to the pool maybe around 10 in the morning, swim, I warm up, and then I time myself on a 400 every time I go to the pool, and that's every other day. So I try to get a better time each time that I go to the pool, but it doesn't work that way.
So you're swimming every other day, and about how much yardage are you doing?
Not much. I warm up and then I do 16 lengths, which is 400 yards. And I have these goggles that have a computer in them. They're called form goggles. And I wear them every time, and they sync all of my data to my cell phone. So when I come out, I can compare that. I've had these goggles for 5 years. I've got dramatic amount of data, and it projects to my right lens when I swim one length, and it tells me right now what it was, and all kinds of interesting data that the swim gives the computer.
Yeah, I love form goggles. I own a pair of form goggles. They do give you incredible data. I am blown away that a 90-year-old technologically is using form goggles, which a lot of people just find even too difficult. So you actually take your goggles, connect them to your Bluetooth, upload the data. How do you look at the data?
I'll tell you, it's quite interesting. My last swim, my 400 swim, I'd been doing the 12 minutes, and then I was doing 11 kind of constant, about a 12 minute and 25 seconds. 11 minutes and 25 seconds. And then the last one I did 11.07, which was my second very best time over the years. The last time was January 23rd of 2023 was my best time. Prior to that was at 11:05, and I was really thrilled with the last time at 11:07.
Do you ever research how to get faster or what other sets you might do, or are you just really sold on this approach to your 400?
I'd say I'm a one act pony, I guess, because I just do the same thing every time and hope that I get a better time.
Okay, we got to talk after this because I think I can give you a set that might be good that'll speed you up. What I would recommend is doing 550s at a faster pace than you're holding. So do you know what your 50s are for your 11-minute 400?
No, I can't remember what that is. I think I do about 41 seconds for a 25.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I was going to say. So if you're doing a minute 20-ish 50s so that's 240 per 100. And then if you multiply that, so what would make you faster and also make you have endurance as well is to do 550s with 2 minutes rest and hold way faster than 120s for that 50. So if you did 550s with 2 minutes rest in between each one and you held 110s instead of 120s, your body would adapt to that pace over time and you would break 11 minutes for your 400 free.
All right. I could give that a shot.
I think that might be something you want to add maybe once a week.
Okay, I will give that a shot, but I forgot to tell you about 20 years ago, I had AFib. I went to the doctor, and he says, you have a poor heart rate. So they put me on warfarin, a blood thinner, and I was on that blood thinner, but when I went to the doctor, I asked him, can I exercise? I went to my heart doctor and I went to my regular doctor, and they would not give me a straight answer. So I said, well, I'm going to just start swimming. So 20 years ago, And after a year and a half, I went to the doctor. He said, "You no longer have AFib." So that meant that I swam myself out of AFib, and I have my check, once a year, sometimes twice a year, and I still do not have AFib.
Exercise is such a great tonic for so many things that we humans get. So your heart rate then when you're swimming, like you've got two more races, so we probably should let you get going here. But when you're swimming, even in practice or in a meet, how much are you pushing yourself?
Well, I try to push myself, but my form goggles give me a reading, and most of the time, an average reading of heart rate is 134, and a high heart rate is 145 to 150, and that's pretty constant.
That is a very high heart rate for 90 years old. So 220 minus your age is supposed to be your max heart rate. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's supposed to be high, maybe around 130.
Yeah, so that's beautiful. Do you know what your resting heart rate is?
I take my blood pressure every morning, and this morning, my average for the 30 days, my heart rate is 58.
Wow, that's so nice and low. Now, besides swimming, do you do any weightlifting or sit-ups or stretching or yoga?
Before I go to the pool, I do a lot of stretching. I have two 15-pound weights that I do curls. I do 20 curls, and then I do stretching and planks and push-offs off the wall. Yeah, and several other things.
Are you doing a full plank?
I'm not sure I understand what a plank is.
Okay, like a plank, you're saying. You're saying
holding.
Yeah, where you hold yourself up.
Okay, well, no, I don't do that. I just do the push-off off the wall.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So what about your support system? You swim alone, but do you have family or friends around?
No, my daughter is in Texas, and then my sister is in Michigan. So I haven't seen them. I did go to a meet. It was a national meet up in Ohio, where my sister, I saw her after 18 years, and I went from Ohio to, she lives up in Michigan, so I traveled up there, and we had a nice little get-together. It was during AFib, though, we were far apart most of the time.
Right. You mean during COVID?
Yes.
Yes. So if you're 90 now, what kind of goals do you have for your swimming for the future?
Looks like a century to me.
That's great. And other than breaking 11 minutes in your 400 free during practice,
That would be sweet.
how about your 500 free today in the meet? What's your goal for that?
Well, it won't be a 500, it'll be a 200.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're doing the 200. That's right. What's your goal for your 200 free?
Well, I tell you the very truth, though, whatever it is, it is. I try to go as fast as I can, pull as hard as I can, and see what the outcome is.
Now, I haven't had the good fortune of seeing you swim yet. I will watch you today. Do you do flip turns?
No, I don't do flip turns.
Do you know or have you heard of the swimmer Charlotte Sandol? She's 100 and she did the 500 free at senior games a couple of years ago, and she did all flip turns in her 500 free at the age of 100.
That is wonderful. That is amazing.
Yeah. Any desire to learn to do flip turns?
Well, I've tried it on a couple of occasions, but I can't seem to get my position right, And with a grab turn, you absolutely can put your feet on the wall. That's a for sure.
Yeah, and then you get some good air as well, which is always nice. What do you think your secret to longevity and health are?
Exercise, diet, and lots of sleep. Now I'm really counting on my sleep lately. I want to get definitely an 8-hour sleep. And that I can tell when I get a good sleep, then I go to the pool and I usually get a much better outcome.
Yeah, and I heard you say you love frozen blueberries. And what other healthy eating do you do?
Well, I eat breakfast. I eat 15 grapes, flaxseed, a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and olive oil, 1 tablespoon of that. And then I heat that up, and I put the baby spinach on top of that. And that is my breakfast every morning. And then I try to stay away from those foods that are packaged and canned.
You eat all of that together, the 15 grapes and the lemon juice and the olive oil and the baby spinach and flaxseed every morning?
No, I don't heat it all together. I heat it in parts. And I do put a package of ready-made grits. I put that in as a kind of a body. I heat that up. Then I put the grapes in and the baby spinach. And I've been doing that for, I guess, about 4 or 5 years.
Wow, so that is very healthy. And overall, do you feel like you're always that disciplined? Because that's so disciplined to eat like that. Like, what in your life gave you such discipline?
I'll tell you that since I live alone and I can choose my time and then my diet, and I get used to the habits and the simplicity of the food that I eat, because I don't spend a lot of time cooking. Since my wife passed away, I've never opened the oven, but me and my microwave are really good friends.
Do you eat meat?
I do eat chicken, yes. Now what I've been doing is I'll cook chickens from Walmart, and I pull the meat off from there, and I get 2 or 3 of those for the next day. That'll be my lunch or my dinner.
Very good. Well, I really appreciate you spending this time with us. And is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to share with our listeners?
No, I don't think I have anything at this moment. I think you've covered it pretty nicely.
Well, thank you so much, Cal, and good luck in the rest of your meet today.
Thank you much.
Thank you for listening to the Champions Mojo podcast. Did you enjoy the show? We'd be grateful if you would leave us a 5-star review on iTunes to help others find us. And we'd also love to hear from you. We're on all social media platforms, or you can reach us at championsmojo.com.